Hello friends, welcome back, and if you are new to our channel, thank you for stopping by. Today let's make a beautiful plant hanger for our lovely plants. So let us begin. Now I will be using the crochet hook number 10 as my yarn is a bit coarse, and I'll be using all the possible bright colors. So let's begin and make a chain of 5. Now once the chain of 5 is done, we are going to slip stitch into the very first chain and make a small ring, and then I'm going to chain 3. So let's move on to the next step, that is once the chain 3 is done, I am going to work a double crochet that is half done, another double crochet that is half done, and then yarn over, pull through. So that's the first cluster. After that I chain 3, and now similarly I am going to make the second cluster. The first double crochet is done, which is half done. That's the second one. This is the third double crochet, which too is half done. Once we have 4 stitches on the hook, I am going to do a yarn over and pull through. So the second cluster too is ready. Now again chain 3, and I am going to continue making my third cluster in the same manner. Now this is going to be a really cute and bright plant hanger, so you should also make this, friends. Now I am going to make 5 such clusters. 3 is already done. Now moving on to the fourth cluster, half done double crochet, that's the first one. This is the second one, and then the third half done double crochet, then yarn over, pull through all. So my 4 clusters are done. Now again I'm going to chain 3 and work my 5th or the final cluster. So I have 4 stitches on the hook, yarn over, pull through all. Now I am going to chain 3 again, and then I am going to slip stitch on the top of the topmost chain, you can say, of the very first cluster. After that I am going to slip stitch and I am going to pull through, and then I'll chain 1 to secure it properly, and then snip off the yarn. So our very first round is ready. Moving on to the next round, I make a slip knot, and then I will start by chaining 3, which will be counted as 1 double crochet in any of the chain 3 spaces. Actually you can start from any of the points. Once the chain 3 is done, which is also counted as 1 double crochet, we are going to make 2 double crochet in the same chain space. So if we count, we have already made 3 double crochet, that is chain 3 and 2 double crochet. After that I chain 2 and I'm going to work 3 double crochets in the same chain space. So here it is done. Now let's move on to the next chain 3 space, where I am going to work similarly. I am going to work 3 number of double crochet, that's the first one, working my second double crochet and the third double crochet. After that I am going to chain 2. Same process is to be repeated. Once chain 2 is done, I am going to work 3 number of double crochet in the same chain space. So this is the process that is to be repeated in all the 5 gaps, that is chain 3 gaps. So I have worked already, so I am working on my last gap. The first double crochet is done. This is the second one, followed by the third one. After that I am going to chain 2 and similarly work 3 number of double crochet in the same chain space. 1, This is the second one and this is the third one. Once that is done, I am going to slip stitch. You can do on top of the chain or you can just slip stitch after the first loop. That will also be okay. It's not that you have to do on top of the chain. After that I snip off the yarn. So this particular round is done. Let's move ahead to the next round, and here I'm introducing a new yarn and we are going to start from the point where 2 chains are there. Here I chain 3. That will be counted as 1 double crochet, which is again followed by 1 double crochet and again another double crochet. So in other words, we have 3 double crochets done. Then I chain 2 and work 3 number of double crochet in the same chain gap. Actually it is the same thing that we are repeating, which we had done in the previous round as well. Once that is done, now we are going to pull our work slightly so that we can identify the chain gap. The first double crochet is done in the chain gap. This is the second one. Once that is done, these 2 chains we are going to skip, and then I am going to work 2 number of individual double crochets till I reach that chain 2 gap. And in the chain 2 gap I am going to repeat the same process, that is 3 double crochet. That's done. Again chain 2, one and 2, and again 3 number of double crochet in the same space. So that's done. Now once the double crochets, 3 double crochet plus chain 2 plus 3 double crochet is done, we'll slightly pull our work so that we can see the hidden chains, and then I am going to work 2 number of individual double crochets. After that I am going to skip 2 chain spaces, 1 and 2, and jump into the third chain space and work individual double crochets. That's the first one, and I need to work another double crochet in the next chain space beside it. Yes, that's done. Now again the repetition, that is 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet in the same chain space. This is going to remain constant all through. In that space we are going to work this similar pattern, that is 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, and this has to be done on all the 5 points. Once that is done, once the 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet is done, we are going to pull our work slightly in each and every step so that we can see the hidden chains. After that I am going to work 2 double crochet, that's the first one, and that's the second one in individual chain spaces. After that I am going to skip 2 chain spaces and continue making double crochet, individual double crochet in individual chain space. After that again we need to work the 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So this is the process that is to be repeated all around till we are near the starting point. So let's continue. It is not at all tough, and this pattern is very easy to work. Besides, as we are using a thicker yarn, it is much more easier to crochet. So let's keep working in the same sequence, no changes required, following the same sequence. So I have reached the point where I am going to make 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet again. So that's 3 double crochet, that is complete. Now I'm going to chain 2 and again work 3 number of double crochet. That's the first one. This is the second one, followed by the third one. That's done. Now slightly I'm going to pull my work so that I can locate the chains where we need to work double crochets, that is individual double crochets, 2 number of individual double crochet. That's the first one. This is the second one. After that we need to skip 2 chain spaces and then work 2 number of double crochet, individual double crochet in individual chain spaces. So here this particular round comes to an end. After that is done, I am going to slip stitch into the very first loop. There I am going to slip stitch and then I am going to finish it off with a chain of 1. And now I am going to snip it off. Moving on to the next round, I'll be introducing my new yarn, and again we start from the point, same point, that is where we need to work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Same process. First we do a chain of 3 which will be counted as 1 double crochet, then followed by 2 number of double crochet. So that makes 3 double crochets. Once that is done, I am going to chain 2 and work 3 number of double crochets in the same chain space. Once the third double crochet is done in the same chain space, we are going to pull our work slightly so that the hidden chain can be identified. Now I am going to work individual double crochet. That's the first one. This is the second individual double crochet in the individual chain space. Now I have to work on the third and the fourth chain spaces and work individual double crochets. So in other words, after working 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, I have done 4 number of double crochet. After that I am going to skip the 2 chain spaces like we had done in the previous rounds, and then I am going to work 4 number of individual double crochet. That's the second one. Now I am making the third double crochet in the third chain space, followed by the fourth double crochet in the fourth chain space. So that is done. Now very easy. Again 3 number of double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, as we have been doing from the very beginning. So 3 double crochet is done, chain 2, again 3 double crochet in the same chain space. Now once the double crochet, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet is done, I am going to work individual double crochets in 4 chains, one after the other. I am going to work double crochets as the second one. This is the third double crochet in individual third chain, and this is the fourth one. After that I am going to skip 2 chain spaces as I have done earlier. Now see, I am going to skip 2 chain gaps and then work double crochets again. That's the first one. This is the second one, followed by the third double crochet and the fourth one. Once that is done, again I am going to make 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So that is the sequence for this particular round. So we are going to continue in the same manner. See, as I told you, it is not at all tough, it is easy, and the same sequence is to be followed all around, working the double crochets, 4 individual double crochets in individual chain spaces, and then I'm going to skip 2 chain spaces and then continue making 4 double crochets in individual chain spaces, and then work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So here I'm quite close to the finishing point. Once the final double crochet is done, I am going to slip stitch into the very first gap, and then I am going to chain 1 to secure it properly and then snip off the yarn. So this particular round is also complete. Let's move on to the next round. Here again we start with a chain of 3, which is counted as 1 double crochet, and which is again followed by 2 number of double crochet. That's the first one. The second, see, this is the repetition of the previous round. Then again chain 2 and work 3 number of double crochet in the same gap or space. So here my 3 double crochet comes to an end. I'm going to pull the work so that the chain can be identified. That's my first double crochet in the individual chain space. That's my second. This is the third double crochet in the individual chain space. This is the fourth one. This is the fifth double crochet in individual chain space, and this is the sixth one. Yes. Once that is done, I am going to skip 2 chain spaces and work individual double crochets again, which has to be 6 in number. The first is done. Now I need to work 5 more. That's my second double crochet, followed by the third, the fourth double crochet, and the fifth one. Now once that is done, this is the sixth one. So my double crochets are done, and now I'm going to jump into the gap, chain 2 gap, and work 3 double crochet, chain 2, one and 2, and again 3 double crochet. Yes, this is the second double crochet followed by the third double crochet. Once that is done, now slightly I'm going to pull my work and work individual double crochets in 6 chain spaces, 6 number of double crochets in individual chain spaces. So this is the sequence that is to be repeated all around. Very simple. Once the 6 double crochets are done, I am going to skip 2 chain spaces as we have been doing in each and every round. Now I'm going to skip 2 chain spaces and work another set of 6 double crochets in individual chain spaces before working 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So let's keep continuing in the same manner till we reach the starting point. This particular pattern grows very quickly. So here I have reached the finishing point. My 6 double crochets are done. Now I'm going to slip stitch into the space, and then to secure it I'm going to chain 1 and then snip off the yarn. The process is same. In every round we are following the same process. Again I start off with a fresh row, and here I chain 3, which will be counted as 1 double crochet, which is followed by the second double crochet and the third double crochet. After that I chain 2 and work 3 number of double crochet again in the same gap as we have been doing from the very beginning. So here my 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet is done. Now I am going to pull to locate the hidden chains, and I am going to start off working the individual double crochets as the first one. This is the second one, the third, this is the fourth double crochet. Now moving on to the fifth double crochet, this is the sixth double crochet, working my seventh double crochet, and finally the eighth double crochet is done. Now if we count the double crochets, there are 8 double crochets. After that, in the same manner as we have been doing, I am going to skip 2 chain spaces and work 8 number of double crochets till I reach the point where we need to work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So by now you must have noticed that in every round 2 number of double crochets are increasing. First we had 2, then we had 4 double crochet, then 6, and now we are working 8 double crochet. So my 8 double crochets are done. Now I am going to work the 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, and after that I am going to repeat the same sequence all over till I reach the starting point. So my 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet is also done. Now we need to work all around, and I have reached the end point, and here I am working the final double crochets, and then I am going to slip stitch into the very first loop or the very first chain. It is up to you what you want to do, and then I am going to chain 1 and snip off the yarn. So this particular row is also done. Let me tell you one thing, if you want your plant hanger to be a little bigger in size, you can increase the rounds as much as you like. And here I am introducing my new yarn at the chain 2 space, and I will be working 3 double crochet, which consists of chain of 3 and 2 number of double crochet. So my 3 double crochets are done. After that I am going to chain 2 and continue making 3 double crochets in the same chain space. Very simple. Once the 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet is done, I'm going to pull my work slightly to locate the hidden chains, and I am going to start working my double crochet as the first one. This is the second double crochet in the individual chain space, the third, the fourth one, this is my fifth double crochet, the sixth, the seventh, 8, 9 and 10 finally. Now after that, 2 chain spaces has to be skipped as we have been skipping in each round. After that, I am going to start off making double crochets, and that too has to be 10 in number. So in the previous round we had worked 8 double crochet, and in this particular round we are working 10 double crochets. That is how the double crochets keep increasing in the number of 2. So I am going to work the double crochets till I reach the point where we need to work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So let us continue working in the same sequence till we reach the starting point. It's a beautiful pattern, and these are little gifts which you can make for your near and dear ones, as I always say. Now let's work the 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet in the chain 2 space. After that we will move ahead and start working 10 number of double crochet and continue with the sequence. So this is how it looks right now. You can keep increasing your rounds if you want a bigger one. And here I have reached the end point, and I will work a few double crochets in individual chain spaces that are still left, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the very first loop or the very first chain. It is up to you what you want to do, and after that I'm going to chain 1 and snip off the yarn. Now I'm starting off with a new round, and I'm introducing my new yarn, and I'm going to chain 3 followed by 2 number of double crochet, chain 2, and again 3 double crochet in the same space. That's the first one. This is the second, followed by the third double crochet. Now once that is done, we are going to pull our work slightly to locate the hidden chain and continue making double crochets, and this time it's going to be 12 in number. That's the second, that's the third, fourth, fifth. This way we are going to continue till we have made 12 double crochets. It's better we count so as to avoid the mistakes if you are a fresher. Now here the double crochets, 12 double crochets are nearly coming to an end. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to skip the 2 chain spaces and start working 12 number of double crochets again till I reach the point where we need to work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So this is the sequence that we must follow for this particular round. This is how we are going to place our planter. And see, I'm almost done with the round. I am here at the end point. I'll work a few double crochets before I slip stitch into the very first loop and then chain 1 and snip off the yarn. See, the sequence is same in each and every round. So I'm finally done. Now I'm going to slip stitch into the very first loop and then chain 1 and snip off the yarn. So this is it, how it looks. So it is star shaped with 5 pointed ends. Now we need to make a neat handle for our plant hanger, and for that I'm going to work it Very simple. I'm just going to chain, simple chain. I'm going to make a long chain. Now that depends on the length of the plant hanger you wish to possess, so I'm not telling the length. Now I have almost finished the handle for one of the points, and then this is how we introduce our handle. I am going to introduce it into the second chain 2 gap. So my 2 handles are done. Similarly, I am going to work 3 of it, and this is how it is to be done. Now let me attach the remaining handles as well. Now what we do is we'll bring all the handles together at one point and tie a big knot. Wait, I'm going to show it to you how it is to be done. See, I am bringing all the handles to one point and keeping the length equal, and then I will tie that big knot. See, this is how it is going to look. See, our plant hanger is complete. Now let's tie the knot. And see, finally it is done. So it's complete. Yippee! And see, this is how it is going to look, a beautiful plant hanger. Now we just need to place our plant in there. Look at it, how colorful it is. Wow, I'm just loving it. Now all we are going to do is place our planter into it, and this is how it looks. This is the plant that I had indoors right now, so see how beautiful it's looking. So friends, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If so, do give a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family members, and if you are new to our channel, do consider subscribing and stay tuned. So till we meet again, it is bye bye for today. Bye.